At 2:13 in the morning, I was sitting on the kitchen floor with a laptop on my knees. The whole house was asleep. My back hurt from cleaning rooms that were not even mine. And on the table beside me was a stack of unpaid bills that did not belong to me either. I should have been sleeping. Instead, I was staring at one email that could change everything. One click. And the family that treated me like nothing would finally see what I had been hiding. But before I tell you what was in that email, you need to understand how I ended up in that house. Hi, my name is Sophia, and this is the story of how the family I married into tried to bury my worth, without realizing I was quietly building something they would one day need. And this is the story of how I was treated like a servant by my own in-laws, until one day, everything changed. Before I married Daniel, everyone told me I was lucky. His family was respected, wealthy, and powerful. They lived in a beautiful house with marble floors, tall windows, expensive furniture, and cars parked outside that cost more than my parents' home. His father, Mr. Carter, owned a family business that everyone in town knew. His mother, Mrs. Carter, dressed like royalty and spoke like every room belonged to her. And his sister, Emily, lived like life had no responsibilities. She spent her days shopping, taking pictures, meeting friends, and complaining if the house staff folded her clothes the wrong way. She didn't work, she didn't cook, she didn't clean, but nobody ever called her useless. Back then, I didn't notice that. I was too busy believing I was being welcomed. When Daniel's parents came to meet my family, they smiled so warmly that even my mother cried with happiness.
Sophia is exactly the kind of girl we wanted for Daniel. She's educated, respectful, and simple.
These days, girls care too much about money and status. But Sophia seems different.
At the time, I thought that was a compliment. I thought they liked me because I was humble, because I was educated, because I loved their son. When I married Daniel, I thought I had found my forever family. His parents welcomed me at first with smiles, but those smiles hid something darker. On the wedding day, Mrs. Carter held my hands in front of everyone and smiled.
From today, you are our daughter.
I believed her. I smiled. I promised myself I would love that family like my own. But the truth was waiting for me behind the doors of that beautiful house, and it did not wait long. The morning after the wedding, I came downstairs expecting breakfast with the family.
Sophia, since you're part of the family now, you'll handle the cooking, cleaning, and laundry. After all, a good wife must take care of the household.
Of course, I don't mind helping, but...
No buts. In this house, we all pull our weight. Daniel works, so you handle the rest. Daniel works outside, you work inside. That is your duty now.
But what about Emily?
Emily is our daughter. You are the daughter-in-law. There is a difference.
That was the first time I felt it. Not anger, not even fear. Just a small, cold feeling in my chest, like I had stepped into a room and heard the door lock behind me. Within days, I went from being a new bride to being the person everyone ordered around. Emily slept until noon, but I was called lazy if breakfast was 5 minutes late. Emily left clothes everywhere, but I was blamed if the laundry basket was full. Emily ordered food whenever she wanted, but I was insulted if dinner wasn't perfect. At first, I told myself to be patient. I told myself every new bride needs time to adjust. But deep down, I was starting to understand something. The rules in that house were not about tradition. They were about control. Every morning, I woke up before everyone else. I cooked breakfast, packed Daniel's lunch, washed clothes, scrubbed the floors, and cleaned rooms Emily had messed up the night before. And what did I get in return? Insults.
This tea is too weak. Can't you even make something simple?
Honestly, Sophia, you're slower than the actual maid we used to have.
I cleaned your room this morning, Emily. It was full of clothes again.
So, that's what you're here for.
I'm your sister-in-law, not your maid.
Don't talk back. A good daughter-in-law serves the family with respect.
Daniel stayed silent. He never defended me. That silence cut deeper than any insult. Later that night, I tried to talk to him privately. Daniel, Emily doesn't do anything, but no one says a word. I make one mistake and they insult me for hours.
Please, Sophia, don't compare yourself to Emily.
Why not?
She's their daughter.
And what am I?
You're my wife. Just try to adjust.
Adjust. That was the word everyone used when they wanted me to suffer quietly. One night, I overheard them talking while I was washing dishes.
She's only useful as free labor. Daniel could have married someone richer.
At least a rich wife would have brought something into this house. Instead, we got someone who eats our food and does basic chores badly.
My chest tightened. I stood there with soap on my hands, listening to them laugh about me like I wasn't even human. I cried quietly that night, wondering if marrying Daniel had been a mistake. Weeks turned into months. My health suffered. My dreams were forgotten. I had a degree in business management, but in this house, I was nothing more than a servant. Before marriage, I had dreams. I wanted to work, grow, and build something of my own. But slowly, their words started entering my mind. Maybe I wasn't capable. Maybe I really was useless. Maybe this was all my life would ever be. When I asked Daniel if I could work again, his father shut me down.
Work? Don't be ridiculous. Your job is here. No one will hire you anyway.
And who will cook? Who will clean? You think you're too good for this house now?
I just want to use my degree.
Degree? Please. A paper doesn't make you important.
That night, I stared at my reflection and barely recognized myself. My eyes were tired. My hands were rough. My confidence was almost gone. But somewhere inside me, one small part refused to die. They may treat me like a servant, but I will not remain one forever. In secret, I started working online, freelancing at night while they all slept. So I made a secret plan. At night, while they all slept, I opened my laptop and searched for any work I could do from home. I didn't have an office. I didn't have support. I didn't even have proper sleep. But I had a laptop, a degree they mocked, and a reason to prove I was more than what they called me. At first, it was small jobs. Data entry, translation, basic admin work. The money was tiny, but it was mine. And for the first time in months, something belonged to me. I never told anyone. I saved every penny. Every insult in the morning became fuel at night. Every time they called me useless, I worked 1 hour longer. But the insults continued.
Look at you, always in the kitchen. That's all you'll ever be.
I lowered my eyes so she wouldn't see the truth. If only she knew. The woman she called a servant was slowly building a business from the same kitchen she mocked me in. Months passed. My secret work grew quietly. I learned how online stores worked. I learned marketing. I learned customer service. Then one client asked me to help run his online business. Then another. Then another. Slowly, I stopped taking small tasks and started managing full projects. I was exhausted every day, but I finally had hope. One evening, during a family dinner, things exploded.
Sophia, you forgot to iron Daniel's shirt. Useless girl.
She's just a servant. Why even call her our sister-in-law?
Please don't call me that.
Then stop acting like one.
In this house, respect is earned.
Then why did none of you ever try to earn mine? The table went silent. Daniel looked shocked. What did you just say?
Nothing. That night, I broke down. But instead of crying, I opened my laptop and worked harder than ever. My secret business was growing. Clients trusted me. My income soared. My income was no longer small. I was earning more than anyone in that house knew, but I still kept quiet. because I didn't want to prove myself with words. I wanted the truth to speak at the right time. And then, one day, that time came. The rich Carter family started falling apart. Mr. Carter's business began collapsing. At first, they tried to hide it. The expensive cars still stood outside. Mrs. Carter still wore jewelry at family events. Emily still posted pictures like nothing was wrong. But inside the house, the truth was different. Investments failed, debts piled up, and the house they were so proud of was now at risk.
We might lose the house. What will people say?
We need money. Daniel's salary isn't enough. What about selling one of the cars? And let people know we are struggling? Never.
I already called relatives. No one wants to give that much.
What about a loan?
The bank rejected it.
If we don't arrange the first payment soon, everyone will know.
For the first time, the Carters were not worried about me burning dinner. They were worried about losing the image they had worshipped for years. That day, they sat around the same room where they used to insult me.
And then, the unimaginable happened.
Sophia, do you have any savings?
Why?
Anything, even a small amount, just enough to help us delay the payment for a few days.
Maybe you save something from the grocery money.
As if she could save anything. She doesn't even earn.
Yes, more than savings. I run an online business, and it earns enough to cover all of this.
How much could you possibly have?
Enough.
Enough for what?
Enough to cover the emergency payment.
That's impossible.
And enough to help restructure the business debt. If I choose to.
If you choose to?
Yes, because the money is mine.
Sophia, where did you get that kind of money?
I run an online business.
What? You? Don't joke, Sophia.
I'm not joking. While you called me a servant, I was building something. And now I can save this family. While you called me a servant, I was building something. While you slept until noon, I worked after midnight. While you laughed at me for cleaning the kitchen, I was managing clients from that same kitchen. While you said no one would hire me, people were paying me because they trusted my work.
That's impossible.
No. What's impossible is that all of you looked at me every day and still never saw me. For the first time, the room was silent, their faces pale. The servant had become the savior.
Sorry, Sophia. We didn't know.
No, you knew. You just didn't care. But things are different now. I'll help, but on my terms. Respect, equality, or nothing. The woman they treated like a servant had become the only person who could save the rich family that looked down on her. Mrs. Carter could not even speak. But things are different now. I'll help, but on my terms. Respect, equality, or nothing. I will help with the emergency payment, but not as your servant. Respect, equality, or nothing. And no one in this house will ever treat me like I am beneath them again. If I cook, everyone helps. If I clean, everyone helps. And if Emily can live in this house without working, then I can work from this house without being insulted. You don't get to call me family only when you need my money. And you don't get to tell me no one will hire me when my work is the reason your house is still standing. And you don't get to hide behind silence anymore. If I stay, you stand beside me. Not after everyone leaves the room. Not when it is easy. In front of them. Daniel's eyes filled with shame.
You're right.
I know.
Of course, you're right. From today, you're not just part of this family. You're the reason it still exists.
After that day, everything changed. Not because they suddenly became kind, but because they finally understood that the woman they looked down on had power. Emily stopped mocking me. My mother-in-law stopped ordering me around. My father-in-law stopped speaking to me like I was beneath him, but respect that comes from fear is not enough. So I made them earn it. Day by day, action by action. And Daniel, for the first time, he stood by me.
I'm sorry for not defending you, Sophia. You deserved better from me, from all of us.
I forgive you, But forgiveness does not mean everything goes back to the way it was.
I understand.
I understand. You have to show me that you understand, not with one apology, with changed behavior. I forgave him, but I never forgot the lessons. So, yes, I was treated like a servant by my in-laws. But one day, everything changed. Not because they decided to respect me, but because I respected myself enough to rise above them. Not because they suddenly decided to respect me. Never let anyone decide your worth. Even if they see a servant, you can still build an empire. And if you were Sophia, would you help the family that humiliated you, or walk away and let them face the consequences? Tell me in the comments.